Before we get into the video, could everyone please subscribe to my channel? Thank you so much. I was an orphan raised by the Hayes family as their loyal bodyguard. I was Emily Hayes' childhood best friend and also her exclusive rare blood donor, AB negative, the universal kind. She hated my guts, convinced I'd teamed up with her dad for the money, breaking her up with her first love just so I could marry her. That is until a car crash left her in a coma, her spirit wandering for 3 years. Now, 3 years later, her ghostly form watched as her ex and her best friend wished her dead and hooked up behind her back. She also saw me, the guy she called a pathetic loser, taking care of her, drawing my blood to keep her alive. When I got smashed into a bloody pulp trying to protect her, her spirit panicked with regret and finally woke her up. The once icy queen came back totally unhinged, not only ruining her ex, but scouring the world for psychics to summon my soul. I've been out cold for 6 months, and this fully obsessed woman slipped into a red wedding gown, locking the hospital room door. Alex Turner, it's snowing outside, too cold. I'm coming to join you. My name's Alex Turner, an orphan. Mr. Hayes picked me up off the streets. They treated me well, raised me, and drilled into me that my job was to protect their daughter, Emily Hayes, like I was some kind of Secret Service agent. From then on, my world revolved around this girl named Emily Hayes. She was the high society princess, and I was her tag-along shadow. Whatever school she went to, I followed. If anyone messed with her, I was the first to jump in until middle school when I overheard Mr. Hayes talking to the driver. "How's that kid Alex holding up? Regular checkups done?" "Yes, sir. Blood type matches perfectly. All stats normal." That night, I mustered the courage to knock on Mr. Hayes' study door. "Sir, are you keeping me around because Emily and I both have that rare AB negative blood?" Mr. Hayes didn't bat an eye. He just looked at me calmly. "Yes, Alex. I won't shortchange you. Whatever you want, I can make it happen. But Emily, she's my line in the sand. She's my only family left." I didn't hate him. I wasn't even surprised. Without the Hayes family, I'd have frozen or starved in some forgotten alley. Now, all they needed was some of my blood in exchange for a stable life, even letting me stick close to Emily. It was a deal that paid off no matter how you sliced it. Plus, Emily and her dad were actually decent to me. Emily would shove her uneaten snacks my way, sneak me water when I got punished. That casual kindness got etched into my heart. I used to dream of days like that going on forever. Emily, safe and always by her side. But in college, she fell for a guy named Ethan Black. He had those brooding eyes and a rough backstory. When Mr. Hayes found out, he hit the roof. He slammed a file down in front of Emily. His dad's a junkie who beat his mom to death. And he beat him, too. He grew up in that mess. No job, no welfare, but he's living it up in college like it's nothing. You think he's any good? He got into that Ivy League on smarts. But what's in his heart, kid? You're no match for him. Emily shot back, eyes red. You can't judge him by his past. He's had it so rough. He needs love more than anyone. People like that always have something twisted. He can't live straight in a world like that. There's got to be some damage. He targeted you, using you. You're too naive, too trusting. No way. His feelings for me are real. I stood outside the door listening to the fight, my gut churning. Part of me was glad Mr. Hayes was stepping in. The other part ached for her stubbornness. After that blow-up, Mr. Hayes had me tail Emily 24/7, blocking any move from Ethan. I did it from then on. In her eyes, I was a sleazy snitch, the villain who wrecked her romance. She started giving me the cold shoulder, her words dripping with hate. I didn't care, or at least I pretended not to. I'd accepted my place. I wasn't good enough for her. But keeping her close this way, stopping anyone from taking her, gave me this twisted satisfaction. 6 years ago, Ethan dropped out under pressure from Mr. Hayes. A year later, Emily and I got married. A ceremony with no joy, just a deal. She didn't give up, still secretly wiring him money for grad school abroad. She naively thought once Ethan made it big, her dad would come around. Mr. Hayes turned a blind eye, maybe his last bit of indulgence for her. And me, the husband to name only, had zero say. 3 years ago, a freak accident turned her into a vegetable. I became a constant at her bedside. I wrung out the towel like a pro, pulled back the sheets, wiped every inch of her skin, even the most private spots. Her spirit hovered above, shaking with rage. Alex Turner, you animal. You don't need to wipe there. You're a guy. Guys and girls don't mix like that. And even in this state, you're after my money. I hummed a tuneless song, hand steady, muttering, "This premium service costs extra." Miss Hayes' full body care VIP treatment. She cursed me out for 3 years, but I couldn't hear a thing. A nurse knocked and came in. "Mr. Turner, time to pay up. This month's bill is due." I switched to a smarmy grin, pulling out that black credit card from my wallet. "Charge it. The best of everything." After the nurse left, the doctor pulled me aside. "Mr. Turner, Miss Hayes isn't improving. Brain waves are fading. This VIP room and imported meds are costing a fortune. I suggest you..." I cut him off. "She's not dead yet. She's never suffered a day in her life. She gets the best, only the best." The whole hallway went silent. Emily's spirit floating midair froze. She eyed my faded white t-shirt, then the top-tier equipment and drugs in the room. Details she'd never noticed started clicking in her mind. Late at night, I slumped in a visitor chair, exhausted, pulling 2 stale crackers from my pocket and scarfing them down. As a kid, I'd fought stray dog for scraps, rummaged through dumpsters. Even after the Hayes family took me in and life got better, chowing on crackers and wearing old clothes felt normal. When Emily was awake, I tidied up for her. Now, who cared? Her spirit drifted over, watching quietly. The cursing stopped. Just then, the clear click of high heels and dress shoes echoed from the hall. I bolted like a startled rabbit, shoving the half-cracker back in my pocket, wiping my mouth, slapping on my usual slacker vibe. I knew Emily's first love was here. I muttered low, 3 years and he's made it big, but from yesterday's call, sounds like your dad still hates him. And so do I. Mr. Heza called early yesterday, sounding worn out. "Alex, Ethan's back. He's climbed the ladder. Emily's probably not waking up. You've done enough these years. I'll cut you a check. Go start fresh." Considering me giving them a shot. "I'll watch you grow up. No blood tie, but you're like a son to me." Emily's mom passed early. Now her too. Maybe it's karma for all my business deals. Maybe I was a monster. "What did Dad say to you yesterday?" Emily's spirit screamed in my ear, stirring a cold breeze. I shivered, rubbing my arms like I felt it. "Whoa, that grudge is heavy. Your dad greenlit you too. Shouldn't you be thrilled?" Knock knock. Two polite raps. Ethan Black walked in with a huge bouquet of fragrant lilies. Emily's bestie, Sarah Klein, trailing behind. He immediately pinched his nose, overacting. "What does that smell? Hospital stink is awful." Then he plastered on a loving mask, heading to the bed. "Emily, I'm back to see you." Sarah followed like she owned the place, spotting the basin of hot water I just filled. Her eyes narrowed. She accidentally bumped it. Splash. Scalding water soaked my hand, turning it red instantly. Burning pain. She didn't even glance. Just screeched. "Clumsy idiot. Watch where you're going. Get out and give Ethan some space." Emily's spirit even chimed in. "Exactly. He's so awkward. He even rubbed me raw, wiping me down." I didn't bother arguing, just quietly mopped up the mess. What came next was unbearable. Ethan sat by the bed, holding Emily's hand, spouting cheesy lines. Sarah peeled an apple nearby, chiming in now and then, like the 3 of them were the real family. I popped in earbuds, cranked the volume, but kept them in my peripheral. Emily's spirit floated to Ethan, beaming, reaching for a hug. Just as her hand was about to phase through him, she heard Ethan whisper to Sarah, "When is this vegetable going to croak already? She's the only stain on my record. I'm a self-made business whiz. Can't have baggage like her." Emily's spirit froze like she'd been struck by lightning. She stared in disbelief at the man she'd loved for years, the one she'd fought her dad over. She went berserk, yelling at Sarah. "Sarah, hit him for me. Did you hear that crap? Hit him now." But the next second, Sarah snuggled into Ethan's arms like a kitten, her voice sickly sweet. "Don't worry, Ethan. This loser Alex is easy to frame. Once my best friend bites it, we pin it on him. Then I'm all yours." Emily's world shattered. She glared at the cheating pair, raging but powerless. Forced to watch them flirt, I held back, yanked off the earbuds, and just stepped out. After Ethan and Sarah left, I stepped out. Emily's spirit trailed me in a daze like a lost ghost. I headed to the blood donation room. The nurse frowned the second she saw me. "Mr. Turner, you've already donated this month. You can't again. You're AB negative. It's rare. Keep this up and it'll kill you. Your wife's reserve is fully stocked." I rolled up my sleeve, offered my arm. "I'm fine. I can handle it. Almost free soon. No more donations after this. I'm into my freedom, too." That last bit came out light. Emily's spirit shadowing me shook violently. Her gaze locked on my arm, riddled with needle marks. Turns out 3 years ago after the crash, the mystery AB negative donor whose saver wasn't some anonymous hero. It was always me. The guy she despised most, Alex Turner. The nurse gave in. Drew 400 cubic centimeters. I pressed a cotton swab. Heading back, I locked the room door, peeled off my soaked t-shirt. 3 ugly scars snaked across my back like centipede from left shoulder to right hip, flesh twisted, deep-colored. Emily's spirit stared at the scars, a buried memory flooding back. Sophomore year, she'd snuck out to meet Ethan and got jumped by thugs harassing her. Before blacking out, a knife came at her. Later, Ethan visited secretly. She assumed he'd heroically taken a hit. He became her knight. She begged to see the wound, but he always dodged, saying it was minor. Turns out it wasn't minor. It never happened to him. Facing comatose Emily, I forced a smile uglier than a sob, pointing at the scars. "If you hadn't bought his story as your savior, would you have fallen for him? Too bad I was laid up in the hospital, too. Woke up, and you were already his girlfriend. Anyway, a guy like me isn't worthy of you." Emily's spirit dropped to her knees. Her ghostly hand reached out repeatedly, trying to touch the scars over and over. Silent tears streamed from her ethereal eyes. "I am sorry, Alex. I'm so sorry. I'm an idiot. A total fool." She sobbed hysterically, her soul quaking. I started coughing hard, a chill rising from my feet through my body. "Weird. No AC on today. Why so cold?" I mumbled. "Go to the bed," grabbing her cold hand out of habit. "Doc says your brain waves are weakening." "Emily, hang in there a bit longer. Your dad's giving up, but I haven't yet. Am I the world's dumbest?" Emily's spirit shook her head wildly, floating to my ear, yelling with all her might. "I don't want to die. You can't die either. Alex, hear me? I don't want to die. Too bad." Her words. I heard zilch. One-way street. Days later, Ethan and Sarah showed up again. This time, no masks, just raw greed and murder in their eyes. Click. Door locked from inside. I was dozing in the chair, wiped out from exhaustion. Emily's spirit freaked, banging around the room to make noise and wake me. The cup didn't budge. Shove a chair solid as rock. She despaired, realizing she was like a spectator in a glass box, changing nothing. Sarah approached the bed, eyeing the faint monitor blips, impatient. "Ethan, no more waiting. Pull the plug before something goes wrong." Ethan nodded, pulling white gloves from his pocket, slipping them on slowly, quick and clean. "Once she's gone, I'll hand her Dad. We can carve up some hay assets." Emily's spirit lunged at Ethan, trying to choke him, claw at his face. Her hands passed through again and again. The helplessness of watching enemies strike tore her soul apart. "What are you doing?" I roared awake. I clutched a half-peeled apple and fruit knife, standing, eyes fierce like a cornered wolf. "Touch her, and I'll gut you today." Ethan eyed me, sneering with contempt. Alex dropped the act. "Who's it for? She should have died ages ago." "You too." He stepped closer, sizing me up like a peer. "We're cut from the same cloth. We shouldn't be scraping by. My mess. Blame my junkie dad." So I claw my way up. No holds barred. "Your mess. It's all from the woman on that bed's father, right? If I'm right, the Hayes raised you as her childhood pal on the surface. But really, you're just her walking spare blood bank. Only a sheltered, love-struck princess like her would think you're a real friend. Her buddy from way back." Nearby, Emily's spirit trembled hard. She never imagined my 20-plus years by her side were just her dad positioning me like a tool, ready to sacrifice for her. She cried, "I didn't know. I never thought that." Dad couldn't be that cruel. I glared at Ethan, knuckles white on the knife. I don't feel messed up. Without Mr. Hayes, I'd be dead on the streets. At least I had a decent childhood. No worries about food or clothes. I breathed deep, trying to de-escalate. She's just in a coma. No threat to you. Why go for the kill? Her dad's still around. Aren't you scared? Ethan laughed like it was hilarious. He lounged on the bed edge. At first, no kill plan, but once I heard her so-called dad, after all this time, gave up on her, even considering pulling the plug himself, I saw the need. His eyes turned icy. Truth, I've ruined lives directly or not. More than once. One more. Whatever. I'm successful now. She's my only blemish. God, I erase it. He stood scanning the room. Private room. No cameras for patient privacy. 3 people here. I unplug her. She dies. Proof it's me. Plus, we outnumber you. Alex, you're the threat. With that, he lunged. I couldn't react. He kicked me down, pinning my arms behind me. His strength was insane. I thrashed, but couldn't break free. Emily went nuts nearby, screaming, I don't want to die. Clawing at Ethan's face, passing through. She paced like an ant on a hot pan, helpless. Ethan held me down. He snatched the knife and tossed it to Sarah. Hold it. If he moves, stab him. Then he gloved up. He headed straight for the ventilator tube. No, I fought. Sarah jumped in my outburst, but steadied, waving the knife. Stay put. I ignored her. I lunged at Ethan, hugging his waist tight, dragging him back from the bed. You bastard. You're dead. Ethan raged, turning with Sarah to pin me on the empty cot. He grabbed a pillow, pounded my head through it. Thud, thud, thud. You got a death wish? Her dad wants her gone anyway. We're just helping. Are you some knight in shining armor? If I'd been naive like you growing up, I'd be long dead. My head rang, vision blurring, but my grip on his waist held. Emily's spirit shook with fury, nearly dissolving. She clawed at them futilely, hands phasing through. Ethan barked at Sarah. You gloves on. Pull it. Sarah hesitated, then jealousy and greed took over. She gloved up, stepping toward the ventilator. She grabbed the oxygen tube, linking Emily's life, her face twisted in madness. Die already, my dear friend. Why were you born with everything? Why is your family richer? Why am I always your psychic when you're around? Why is your dad so good to you? Why is this idiot simp risking it all for you? It's not fair. Her voice pierced, full of bitterness and venom. That face I'd once thought pretty now looked like a demon from hell. Seeing Sarah's hand on the tube, a surge of strength hit me. I exploded up, shoving Ethan off. Despite the daze, I shielded the coal machine with my body. Back off! Sarah stumbled back, falling on her ass. She scrambled up, furious, shoving me hard. You die instead. Already dizzy, the push sent me reeling backward. Time slowed. I saw Ethan's shock, Sarah's sneer, and on the bed, Emily's pale, bloodless face. Thump! A dull, bone-shaking impact. My head cracked on a cabinet corner. The sharp edge split my scalp. The world froze. Warm liquid gushed from the back of my head, soaking the floor. Red vision faded, locking on Emily's face. Sorry, Miss Hayes. Couldn't protect you. Consciousness yanked out, like an invisible hand pulling me free. I floated up, seeing myself in the blood pool, seeing Ethan and Sarah, no longer cocky, panicking. Then, beep, 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 beep. The monitor blared shrilly. Not a flat line. Heart rate spiked wildly. Emily's spirit, seeing me fall, felt ripped apart. She rushed over, trying to touch my head, hug me, stem the blood. Her hands phased through. She whirled, eyes bloodshot, glaring at the culprits. Ethan snapped too, grabbing Daz. Sarah, run. Book the next flight out. That idiot. Wrong one died. We're screwed. They bolted from the room. Emily's spirit chased them down the hall, powerless to stop them. She floated back to my bloody form and her lifeless body. Rage and defiance surged. She slammed a fist at the bed. It phased through her body. But in that instant, blinding white light flashed. Her spirit vanished. The next second, the 3-year coma patient bolted awake. No confusion or weakness in those eyes. Just hellish killing intent and crimson fury. She was up, rage woken. No hesitation. Her left hand hit the emergency buzzer. Then, ignoring it, she yanked the floor from her hand. Blood spurted. She felt nothing. She rolled right, muscles atrophied and weak, tumbling messily off the bed. No pause, barefoot on cold tile. She crawled hand and knee to my blood pool. She hauled me into her arms with all her strength. My head lolled in her crook, blood staining her white gown. Her hands shook like leaves in the wind. A choked wail escaped her throat. "Alex, I was wrong. So wrong. You can't die. Wake up." I floated above, heart twisting at the sight. This woman who'd barely glanced my way now clutched my body like a mad woman, sobbing her lungs out. "Hurry, someone. Miss Hayes is awake." Dogs and nurses swarmed in, stunned by the scene. A supposed vegetable hugging a bloodied man, slumped in gore, crying like a kid. "Miss Hayes, stay calm. Let him go. We need to save him." But she clutched my hand like death, glaring daggers. "Save him. You have to. If he dies, so do I." An older dog barked. "If you want him dead, keep holding." It hit like thunder. She released, shocked. Nurses hustled her back to bed. Cops arrived soon. A nurse called per her demand, but medics stabilized her freshly woken body in wild emotions. No statements yet. Cops posted guards waiting. Room in chaos. Emily grabbed nurses, voice quaking from my updates, then collapsed, tears silent, eyes hollow, brewing a storm. I floated on the ceiling, watching. Now I was the spectator. Once quiet, Emily's first move was to grab her phone and call her dad. The line connected. Tears fell. "Dad." Her voice nasal, regret heavy. "I was wrong. I should have listened." "Mr. Hay," stammered, shocked. "Emily, is that you? You're awake." "Dad, I call the cops. Send security to the airport. Nab Ethan Black and Sarah Klein. That scum pair." "Okay." "Alive, mister." Hayes's mind blanked, but her lethal, pleading tone screamed urgency. "No questions." "Okay, I promise you're awake. That's what matters." The call ended. Emily sat, eyes frozen. No doubts needed. Her spirit saw it all. Hayes's influence was massive. Cops and guards teamed up. Before boarding, Ethan and Sarah got collared in the VIP lounge. A guard found them first. They were dragged to Emily's room. Emily faced them, expressionless. She pointed at beers on the table. I'd bought them when stressed, planning to drink alone. She griped nearby. "Alex can't drink. Beer smells gross." "Don't. I hate drinkers." I hadn't opened one. Sipped. Hated it. Smash a bottle each on their heads. Guards didn't flinch, grabbing bottles and cracking them down. Crack. Crack. Glass shattered. Beer mixed with blood trickling down their foreheads. "Ah!" Sarah shrieked. Ethan grunted in pain. Emily's voice iced over. "Don't die. Take it quietly. That's for Alex's blood. You." "Oh." Ethan clutched his bleeding head, playing the sympathy card. "Emily, let me explain. Sarah manipulated me. You're the only one in my heart." Emily sneered. "You think you can talk feelings?" Sophomore year at the campus gate. The one who took the knife from me was Alex. These 3 years, the idiot who stuck by me, wiped me down, secretly donated blood to sustain me. It was Alex. "Ethan Black, what are you?" She turned to Sarah, disgust overflowing. Guard stepped up, slapping Sarah dozens of times, left and right. Her face swelled like a balloon visibly. Then Emily's gaze hit the arm Ethan used to pin her. "Break that arm." Snap. Bone cracked clean. Ethan's pig squeal echoed. I floated nearby, jaw dropped. This woman was ruthless when fired up. Way more satisfying than the crap I'd swallowed for 3 years. My spirit muttered, "Princess, you're something gutsier than me. I'd never dare. No backbone, huh?" Last words, self-mocking. Yeah, what backbone? A kid raised knowing he was just a spare blood bag. Where's the rights or dignity? Done with the trash. Emily had guards haul them to the precinct. She called the police chief personally. Chief Anderson. Security grabbed them. They resisted. My guys accidentally broke the guy's arm and cracked his skull. "You mind?" Chief laughed over the line. Attempted murder suspects resisting arrest. Breaking an arm or worse. They had it coming. "Don't worry, Emily. I'll handle it clean," lawyers said, ensuring the scum rotted in prison. Emily turned to the ICU wing. That moment, her tough facade shattered. just broken fear left. Docs finally diagnosed me. Severe brain trauma, deep coma, vegetative state. Wake-up odds slim to none. Fate's cruel joke. We'd swap places. Emily sat vigil outside the ICU, not eating or drinking, statue-like, till she collapsed from exhaustion. Forced her back to her room. Waking words, get the top neurologists. Cost no object. One stable out of ICU to a regular room. She turned mine into her crash pad. Fired all aides. Did everything herself, just like I had done for her. Daily wipes, massages, news reads, even those finance rags she hated. Sometimes she'd pause reading her own love letters. Corny lines from her mouth hit with heartbreaking sincerity. Mr. Hayes visited, aching at her state. Never thought Alex would. Sigh. Kid, this is your own doing. Back then, breaking you and that black kid up, you fought me tooth and nail. Forced the marriage to Alex. You hated me. Now regrets. If your mom were here, she'd tan your hide. Emily just teared up, whispering, Dad, quiet. Alex is sleeping. I know I messed up. I found my spirit trapped in a room. Couldn't stray far from my body. Seeing her face thin out, I panicked, testing by blowing on her cheek. She twitched, whipping around, eyes sparking hope. Alex, is that you? She scanned. Nothing. The spark died. Nights she'd sneak under my covers, hugging my unresponsive form carefully. Fingers traced my back scars over and over. Hot tears soaked my gown. I ached. I wanted to say stop crying. I'm not fully gone, but shouts, roars. Nothing reached her. Her mental state frayed. Started talking to air. Alex, you cursing me in your head? My late love's cheaper than dirt. Curse away. I deserve it. Then I curse you daily. She'd practice smiles in the mirror endlessly. Got to smile pretty, or when you wake, this sour face will turn you off. She always nailed my spirit spot when talking. Creepy yet oddly warm. Could she sense me? 6 months passed. Best experts worldwide checked. Same verdict. Slim hope. Emily ditched the pros. Brought in priests in robes and mumbling mediums. Science failed. Time for the supernatural. Room filled with yellow prayer strips. Incense burning nonstop like a funeral home. I floated overhead, speechless at the experts prancing around my bed. A young priest swigged some holy water mix and sprayed my face. I fumed. Emily, boot these frauds. What is this crap? And that old lady? No spitting on me. Close. A wrinkled medium circled my bed thrice, pinching her fingers and acting profound. This man's soul's adrift. Born of love, turned hate. Unresolved grudge won't return. Emily bought it. Last straw clutched. Eager. How to fix it? The master medium stroked an imaginary beard. Needs kin's heart blood as lure. Plus joy rush ritual to call back the wanderer. Emily grabbed a knife from the fruit basket, aiming at her chest. No hesitation. Stop. My spirit nearly shattered, roaring full force. Soundless. The medium flopped down, babbling. He's here. Angry spirit. He's mad. Emily's knife hand paused. She looked at me, flashing a tragic wild smile. Angry good means you still care. She set the knife down gently, her voice dripping honey. Alex, you don't want me hurt. She cleared the frauds, but latched onto that joy rush idea. Her gaze on me grew thick with obsessive fixation. This woman was losing it. Emily sealed the room tight. Only meal deliveries allowed. No visitors, fire cleaners too. All care. Her hands only. Then weird stuff started. She collected my old clothes, used toothbrushes, ashtray, but's cleaned, sterilized, turned into specimens in custom glass cases. The room became my twisted museum. Daily outfit changes. Tailored black suit today. Cozy cartoon PJs tomorrow. She even sourced a cat ears headband. Plop it on me. Snap pics giggling. I floated aside, chills racing up. Babe, cease. Boss, I'm her family's guard, but I got dignity. This is humiliating. She ignored me and escalated. Custom men's diamond ring. Simple style. Forced on my left ring finger. Stuck perfect. No removing. She admired, smiling obsessively. My ring on you. Even as a ghost, you're mine. Emily Hayes. She fed me bizarre tonics from some herbalist. Said to anchor my soul. Black sludge with a funky smell. She'd sip first, then leaning mouth to mouth, feeding drop by drop, watching my body toyed with. I felt loved deeply, yet helpless, like a doll. Emotions clashed, tormenting me. One midnight, she trimmed my nails with small scissors. Midway, she stopped, staring at my fingers like she was seeing beyond. She murmured, "What if I chopped off a finger? Would it hurt? If it hurts, you'd wake, right?" My spirit jolted. Her eyes held no joke. Emily seemed set on the finger plan, but she couldn't. From some yellowed old book, she found a gentler way. The text said detached souls link faintly to the body. Extreme emotions or pain from a loved one could jolt the link, pulling the soul back. New experiments began. Self-harm in front of me. She got sewing needles. Sat bedside, pricking her fingers one by one. With each prick, she'd look up at my blank face, whispering, "Does it hurt you, Alex? Does a heartache? If it does, wake up and stop me." Crimson beads dotted her tips, dripping on white sheets like eerie blooms. Seeing her bloody hands, I rushed, tried to snatch the needle, hug her, beg her to stop. My hands phased through uselessly. Powerless. I watched her punish my absence by hurting herself. No reaction from me. Her eyes dimmed, replaced by destructive resolve. She quit self-harm and started starving. She'd hunger strike to death before me. Alex, know what? No. We'll see who drops first. Days in, she wasted away visibly. Sharp chin sharper, eyes sunken, face paper pale. Her thinning form knifed my heart. I floated above, ghostly hands stroking her head like soothing a hurt kitten. "Dummy, wouldn't my death be better?" "Truth, I've always liked you. From kid to now, you were the brightest star. As kids, I could joke around. But after middle school, no more. It's been ages since I patted your head. Last time, maybe 6 or 7. My hand passed through her hair. No ripple. On a stormy night, she seemed decided. No more starving or harm. Cleaned up. Pulled a brand new blood-red wedding dress from the closet. The room turned into an eerie bridal suite. White walls plastered with glaring red joy stickers. White sheets swapped for red dragon phoenix quilts. All wrong, creepy and mad. She dressed me in a prep black suit. Even tied the tie. Then it was mirror time. Boldest bride makeup. Lips blood red. Eyes painted. Stunning beauty, chilling too. Done. She locked the door tight. Drew all curtains. The room sealed, a tomb in hand. Those nails scissors sharp. My spirit seized by unprecedented terror. What now? She approached the bed, climbed on, straddled me, looking down. From her legs, she slipped off black stockings with near reverent care, bound my hands tight to the bed rails. I watched the absurd horror. She took the scissors, cold blade gliding down my cheek, over throat, chest, eyes glazed, voice soft like the sweetest vows. "Alex, let's get married. Can't wait. I know you feel me. You're here with me, right? You touched my head that day, not imagining, right?" The blade kept sliding. Stopped at my gut. "If you don't wake, I'll slit your throat first, then mine. Ghost couple sound good?" Her face twisted into a Yinder sweet grin. Scissors tip spun down, halting in my crotch. "Or make you a eunuch. Then you're mine forever. Only mine." Not bad. No joke. Her grip tightened. Tip pierced fabric, fainting. My spirit sensed dire crisis. Not just body ruin. I knew if unchecked, this mad woman would off herself. She'd follow through. I roar my body, my brow slamming in. Shake. Soft hair, cloth, and skin. Sharp pain shot from below, through me. An invisible barrier shattered in my mind. Consciousness flooded back to my long, still form. "You lunatic," I blurted. "If I die, it's got to be dignified, intact." My spirit drilled into my body as Emily poised for the deep stab. That silk-bound, rigid hand shot up, gripped her wrist hard. With all strength, I pried open lean lids. My voice raspy like rusty bellows, each word draining. "Crazy woman, trying to end my line." Emily froze solid. Scissors clanged to the bed. She stared blankly into my open eyes, my hand on hers. Time halted for 3 seconds. Then, a piercing scream mixed with joy, grievance, rage, and fear burst from her. She dove down, biting my shoulder hard. Wouldn't let go, like embedding half a year's longing and despair into my bones via teeth. I hissed in pain. "Awake." I was really awake, but maybe I regretted it. I woke. Emily refused, untying the silk on my hands. Reason afraid you'll ghost again. That ghost meant soul slip. I lay weak, watching her guard like a beast with prey. Tears welling. Docs wanted full checks. She blocked the door at first. He's mine alone. No peeking. Like a dragon hoarding treasure. From then she enforced total no escape. Forced love meals fed Chew by her first, then mouth to mouth. Water. Same. Bathroom. She stared dead on. Called it. Post-op monitoring and rehab. I finally protested. Emily, I'm a patient. I have rights. Massaging my stiff calf. She sneered, grabbing those PTSD scissors from the nightstand, tossing them playfully. Here, I'm warden. You're my inmate. Inmates got no rights. I shut up. Smart guys don't push 1 week. Her one more word, and you're my sister. The vibe felt like a hidden trap. Ready to snap, though. Mouth sharp, actions bossy. I noticed she needed hugging me tight to sleep. If I shifted slightly, she'd jolt awake like a spooked deer, then lock me in her arms. Once while she slept, I snuck her bedside journal, expected rants or love notes, flipped open, stunned. Page after page, crammed with 2 words. Alex, Alex, Alex. Some bold piercing paper. Others tear-blurred, despair-soaked. I pictured her crying, obsessively scrawling my name like a maniac. Heart soured with ache, warmth flooding reason away. No more fights or protests against the embarrassing forced love. That night, as she octopused around me, sleeping, I turned gently, kissing her smooth forehead. I'm not going. In her ear, soft for us alone. This life's yours, okay? Crazy woman. She stiffened in my arms, then hugged tighter. 2 years later, under Emily's warden and strict care, I regained mobility. Freedom still under her 24/7 watch. Like chatting extra with a female coworker in the hall, she'd ghost him behind, linking arms possessively, flashing a sweet warning smile at the woman. She tracked Ethan and Sarah's fate. They bickered in prison, blaming each other, living miserably. Sarah's face ruined. Ethan's arm wasted from no treatment. Especially Ethan, cops dug deeper, found he'd used shady tricks indirectly causing 2 innocent girls' deaths via heartbreak scams. Multiple charges, life sentence, no out. Hearing that, Emily and I cheered, ate extra dinner. My back scars faded to pink, less gruesome. But Emily checked and touched them nightly before bed. Called them proof of my love, her life's prized medal. I teased her sappiness, heart honey, sweet in the bedroom, mid-baby-making exercise, vital to humanity. That scary scissors locked in my safe. Keep mine alone. Months later, Emily puked nonstop. Whatever winning came up, I panicked. Rushed her to the hospital. Test. Pregnant. Prior got clingier. Possessiveness peaked. But I loved it. Birthday. Drizzly afternoon. Holding our wrinkly, monkey-like bundle. Seeing Emily pale from exhaustion on the bed. Eyes welled. Thanks, wife. Choke, kissing her lips. So good. You gave me a beautiful daughter. Next, a boy for siblings. Emily smiled weakly, hooking my pinky with her feeble hand. Alex, no more kids. Voice light, soft, tickling my heart. You don't know. It hurts so bad. Worse than the crash. Worse than the needles. Times a million. She gazed. Those once obsessive eyes now sparkling gentle stars. Next life you carry. I care for you. Deal. I leaned deep, kissing her. Deal. All yours.